lap 123 of this charismatic French bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and he'll be saying, woof, woof, woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water, but thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. We are back at the Red Bull Ring for round 4 of the GT3s for season 6 of the Kid Buyers Racing League. And we are watching Nismo Nath, who is one of the first of the Pro-Am or AN drivers to get out onto the track. Split qualifying session, 22 minutes. We join you a couple of minutes into quali as Ernie Drongo in the Lambo goes to the top with a 29.7. Watching Nismo Nath, I jumped onto his stream a little bit earlier this evening. I was in a bit of a complaining mood, really, complaining just because my invitation to another game was lost down the side of Jason's Commodore there in Carrum Downs, and I didn't get invited to another game. But anyway, that's enough of that for the time being as you join us in this session, Red Bull Ring, and you can see there with 10 minutes to go, pro drivers will come out and do their quali laps. And then, of course, you know the drill by now, 60-minute race coming up. And look at this, the August charity month is heating up. Check out what we've got planned with KRL and the Endurance League at CameronNorris.card.co, and all the information is there. Maxi Naked Blade, good to hear that. Tightest pants in all the land. And well, let's be honest, Andrelli, there's a lot of bits and pieces to fit in those pants. Not a hell of a lot of room for anything else. But Savage Duck asked Mrs. B. Number 3, not sure what that means. Sorry, Cat walked on my keyboard. 3 means nothing, or could it mean something? Because Daniel Ricciardo, of course, Imola this weekend, he is number 3, and will we see him around before the summer break, or will it be 22? We don't know. As I welcome alongside me tonight the man who is hailing from Carrum Downs, of course, lifelong Hawthorn supporter, and Dandenong cricketing royalty in his family as well. I speak of Jason Wilkinson. Good evening to you.
Yes, hello. Welcome to another KRL night. Thursday night. Beautiful GT3s out on track now. We've got the Pro-Am and AM guys, as has been said, and Smitty, first car into the 28s. But yeah, we got a couple little updates with the class system. We've had 2 guys go up into the pro class just to sort of fill that field out, because we only had 4 guys in the pro class last night, and now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got Matchin and Nick are the 2 that have gone from the Pro-Am to the Pro class. They've been putting in some good results. Of course, Nick won the first GT2 round back at Watkins Glen. But yeah, so a couple little shakes there, and I'm sure there'll be more on the way, because there's a few guys that are outperforming their fellow class mates. But it's all about quali here tonight at Red Bull Ring. Smitty, 28.8 at the moment. Kilroy just behind, and then Craig 3/10 off at this stage.
And another big turnout tonight, of course. You can see on your screen there, 21,
33 cars.
33 cars. What the hell am I talking about? Including, we'll pick a random driver, of course, Matt Simmons there. And the prediction jumping into the poll there, of course. Will we see slick tyres?
Oh no, that was sorry, that was me removing it because I forgot to pay it out last night. And I forgot, so.
I'm thinking there is a fair chance there's a fair chance we will see slick tyres. I was thinking there, given the track conditions, but a perfect segue to introduce a man alongside me. Of course, he's popped in the chat there about the upcoming August charity month. Big month, in fact, possibly the biggest month on the sim racing calendar for us. And of course, he's the sort of man you'd invite him out to dinner, Jason, and he'd order dessert before the main course. That's how much of a naughty boy he is. He doesn't care, though. I speak of Chuck Norris. Welcome to you, Chuck.
Look, glad to be here. But that's actually a funny fact, Trev, because as a kid I used to do that. I used to go to the self-serve chocolate mousse before I would have dinner. And yeah, no, it was good. But yeah, Trev, charity month is all getting underway at the moment. So pin comment in the chat if you guys want to sponsor the event, maybe title sponsor, all that kind of good stuff. Check out the link for more information. But yeah, we're back here, Red Bull Ring GT3s. I'm going to be taking some pointers from these guys because I've actually got to do a Red Bull Ring race myself at 4 in the morning, Trev. So hopefully these guys can show me how it's done.
Yes, working in a different time zone, our man. But boy, that brings back some memories. The old chocolate mousse and the green sort of wobbly jelly and the sneeze guards at Pizza Hut back in the day. All you can eat. Boy, what happened to that blockbuster video? And Jason, of course, not born then, but fantastic times indeed. Can even remember when the first DVD showed up. I thought that'll never take off, and look what happened. We've been there and done that, haven't we?
Still hasn't, because I was going to say now it's all online.
as the old dial up, but Kilroy and Smitty with a 28.8. This is very quick, and he's a Hooncorp man, and of course Kilroy also very. And there you can see Kilroy less than 1/10 of a second further back. So how long have they got? They've got about a minute left, don't they, Wilco, to set their times, but they're looking very quick. And Mac and Cheese.
Mr. Mac.
Mr.
The
Easy
King's
Mac.
Racing.
Lobster Mac and Cheese for King's Racing, part of the Wilco Driver Academy. Jay Wadar has gone to the top with a 28.6, and that is a very sexual time.
Yeah, it is. It's a decent time. Not bad by Mac there in that Lexus. So I think the Lexus is probably going to have this next week at Monza will be the strongest this car would be, because it is quite fast on the straights and doesn't really have much anywhere else. But if I just start flicking through now, we'll see who is on a fast lap. Nismo is on an invalid lap, so he's not going to get another lap. We've got Smitty, he's 2/10 up. Oh, he just ran wide and got an invalid lap, so he might be able to get, if he didn't get this and next lap invalid. We'll find out in a second, I guess. He's just started lap, so he's the last car to cross the line. So Sean is out. Spawn's up by 6/10 at the moment. He's down in P12, jumps up to P5. And who else we got? Let's have a look. Kilroy's 2/10 up here in third.
Let's have a look at Kilroy. He is coming around the last corner now. Here we go. He needs 2/10.
He lost time in the last corner.
And what's it going to be? He doesn't improve, does he, there? So we've got Craig and Spawn in the pits. Who else have we got on a quick lap here? It is a short lap, of course. What have we got? 10 corners or something here, haven't we? Including this one, which is... no, I beg your pardon. This is the middle part of the lap here. We've got... Who is that? Shawnee Fuller. Is he improving here? He's got to find 5/10 though, doesn't he, Wilco? That's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. I'm just flicking through the other guys on. Alright, we've got Chipperton. He's going to be the last cut across the line. We've got Sideways Polka and Stu, the next two cars. But I'm on board with Chipperton. He's actually 4/10 up at the moment. And I won't flick over to see what the other guys are, but Sideways Polka across the line and Stu.
Now Stewie up to 10th, Sideways up to 6th. And let's take a look at Chipperton. He comes across the line. What's this going to be? He improves
Up to
by a
13th.
tenth or so up to P13, and that might
now
be...
all the pro guys lining up on the left-hand side there in the pit lane, ready for that 10-minute countdown. So look at that. Noodles is the first car out, Hainsey second, and then you got Norm third. So the 3 McLarens are ready to go.
And you can see Match in there as well, and we'll just pick a random driver here. Here comes Matt at the back of the pack there. Matthew Simmons, of course. And what's Nick doing? Is he pulling off? Oh no, he's not. Oh no, he is. He's had an upgrade, hasn't he? I think Nick.
Yep.
As we see Andrew coming out there as well, and here they come. 10 minutes. It seems to you reckon it's working well, Wilco, this split quali format. It just helps to free up some clear air on the track, doesn't it, for the quicker boys to come out and do their laps later in the session?
Yeah, well, it's not also, like, it's not just for that too. I mean, we have 38 cars. We could potentially have 38 cars on track, so that's a lot of incidents also to have reviewed, because yeah, there's a lot of cars trying to make space. So this is another reason why we brought in the no overtaking on the first lap. So a bit of a gentleman's rule like they have in F1. So yeah, you should see all these boys here. You see single file, warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the split quality, I think, yeah, it works out well because it gives, as we said, the guys up the front of the field. So Mac, Smitty, Kilroy, they're all sort of, you know, up on top of the timesheets to get a bit of stream time as with all the other boys. And now we focus on the pro guys, because obviously these pro guys are aliens. We've got many guys that can take out the win tonight, so it should be very tight as well.
And I was just thinking that as Beaky has joined us, 1 minute on the prediction, that has finished. Will we see... I've forgotten what the prediction was there, but good evening, gents, says Beaky. O/ from Savage Duck. And boy, he's typing some funny things into the chat, Savage Duck, this evening. And you can see there, Jimbo Jones says, hey Trev, good evening to you, Jimbo. Good evening, Beaky. Did you get an invite, Jimbo? Would love to hear whether you did for Sea of Thieves. Of course, you're a console player, so you probably did. Just us PC guys that he's got it in for. But hello there, Shawnee Fuller. It's just kicked me out. Wilco just messaged you.
Yeah, I just messaged him back, so I'm sure. Okay, I'll keep working that out. You can commentate on the track.
And there we go. I am a commentator. Is that someone awesome? Is he off at the first corner there? What is going on here? Someone awesome has gone onto the inside of turn 1. And let's hope it's not like what we saw with Fernando Alonso in testing a few years ago, where he had that weird incident, didn't he, in Spain? Some say he was electrocuted and got some sort of amnesia or something, and then ended up thinking he was 10 years younger. Well, that's a conspiracy theory that is interesting. As Team Little Bear, and look at this, Team Little Bear coming in with the Tier 1 subs to the following people. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Bulldogs, Heath, NZ, X-Blade, and Distinct Andrew. Board in the pits. What can I say? He is coming in with the Tier 1 subs, and that just gets the hype train going. Toot, toot! And boy, if we get a bit of a run on here, Chuck Norris, I might have a coronary angiogram, which I think is some sort of heart complaint if these boys keep giving us the subs like they are now.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what you just said. I'm trying to make sense of it, but no, these guys, I just want to touch on as well. You mentioned the split qualifying between the pros as well as the pro-ams and the ams being out together. I do agree with what Wilco said. You know, it means the track is less congested. People have more of an opportunity to set a lap time, especially our am drivers. You know, it means that they don't have to constantly pull out of the way and let other people go past. It gives them a good opportunity as well to set a solid lap time. But, you know, these times, Noodles is already down to just under a 28.4 at the moment. So I'm interested to see if we are actually going to break the 27s. We've got 5 minutes on the clock. So Yeah, looking forward to this.
And it's going to be fantastic. Team Little Bear there waiting in the pit lane. Great to have your support with us there. Beaky says, nice work, Beaky, to Team Little Bear. And boy, nobody knew what I was talking about except Savage Duck, who said angiography is a procedure done to look at the blood vessels in your body. The pictures made during an angiography are called angiograms. Points. Conventional
Can I rename
angiography
Savage Duck to Wikipedia, please?
And, can be used for both. Can be used for both diagnosing and treating problems with blood vessels. You boys, I'm halfway through medical school and everyone's thinking I'm crazy. And there we go. So thank you, Savage Duck. And unfortunately, I learnt that in a very difficult, learn all about that stuff. Of course, with both my parents having heart issues, and they reckon there's a 70% chance that if one of them's got heart issues, I will as well. So that's why I can't get too excited when they're dishing out the Tier 1 subs for the hype train. And how good is that, Savage? But speaking of Savage, who is out on the circuit? Someone awesome. Who else have we got setting these times here, please? Norm, Figo, very close at the top.
Figo is 4 tenths up, 3 tenths up, 2 tenths up. He must have made a mistake. But I'll try and get on board with Mr. Noodles. He'll be the first car across the line again.
And
Here he is there. So he's nearly 3 tenths up here. So can he send it through these last 2 corners and scrape into those 27s?
Are we going to see 27s? Jimbo also not getting an invite to Sea of Thieves. Interesting that. We'll keep that in the memory
you're
bank.
practicing, Jimbo, so it's all good.
There we go.
4 tenths up.
And Noodles, 27!
Pay me out,
27! 27.997! Jesus, that's quick!
There goes the heart.
And that is incredibly quick. And if Mrs. B could stop sending me messages, if Mrs. B sending me messages, wondering where the rest of my Mother's Day chocolates are, boy, I've got news for you, Mrs. B. They got eaten about 3 days ago. Taylor and I got stuck into them. Anyway, you can forget about those. But Noodles on fire here with a 27.997 and 26 people watching the stream. And an anonymous man has gifted us. Could have very well been a woman. We don't know. Up here in the commentary box, we'll get Chuck Norris just to check out what's going on. But gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to the community. An anonymous gifter has come in strong here, Chuck Norris. What is going on with 3 minutes to go in this session? Watch that heart, Trev, says Beaky. But these times are tumbling. We're into the 27s. And could that anonymous gifter be one M. Simmons?
Quite possibly.
He's out on track. He's on track.
I mean,
So
he could be doing...
He's good, but I don't think he's that good.
I mean, you never know.
Well, I tell you what, I haven't been this excited since I tried those apple pies, those Sara Lee apple pies, you know, the small ones into the air fryer there the other day. And they are absolutely magnificent, but I can smell one of them cooking at the moment. But anyway, 2.5 minutes to go, and we're going to pick a random driver here as we take a look at Matt in the Lamborghini. Across the start-finish line, can he improve? Ooh, these boys, they're very close on the track, Wilco. They're going to have enough room for this final run. In fact, they might get a couple of extra runs. Oh, Matt!
Oh, Matt.
Matt Simmons, that is not the Matt Simmons way. Unfortunately there, and
He's got to get out of that Lambo. That Lambo is a piece of shit.
And you're gonna say
I hate
that.
Lambos.
And
I hate Lambo GT3s. They're just such a boring car. Like, try something with a bit of. As I say that, I'm a McLaren guy. Yeah, I'll just say McLaren that sounds like it's on a 2-stroke engine. But yeah, try the Porsche, please, Matty.
And you can see there a lot of anti-Lambo sentiment there. Matt Scott going again. Figo also in the Lamborghini, and Ernie Drongo as well. 27.997. Chuck, you have seen something.
I've seen something. Sorry to jump in it's quite spontaneously, but can I just feast everybody's eyes upon P7 and P8 for their lap times?
Oh my goodness, it's happened again. It's happened again here. Nick and Will are level pegging there, and you can see level 3 hype train. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And if you want to get in on this action, then please send us your precious coins. No, they don't send us coins, do they? They give us subs, which is fantastic. But less than a minute to go. 26 people watching, Chuck. Give yourself a shout out at the peak of our powers, if you don't mind, with less than 30 seconds to go in the session.
Yeah, I can do that. If you guys want to give me a follow, you can hit the heart icon in the top of the chat. But yeah.
And you can use pepper spray to season your meat. That's what Chuck does. But 17 seconds to go in this session. And Distinct Andrew. Oh, look at this. 127.997 close, Jason, but not quite in the 27s, is he?
No, not quite, but if I go on board with him right now, he is currently even with his time. So if he can put these last, 4 corners and about 7 Ks of straight to very, very basic track here, but it is quite tricky though, I'll give him that. But he just dipped a wheel in the gravel there, so he's slightly down on his time, so he's going to absolutely send it like he did last week. In that last lap at the at Nürburgring, he sent it to those last 2 corners here. Can he do it again? He's pretty much dead even on his time. It's flashing between red and green. He's in the green. He's sent it through there. Oh, invalid lap.
Oh, and Andrew's gone off.
Matchin. Let's find Matchin.
Where is Matchin there? Matchin. I'm looking at Matt. Just going to pick someone here out.
Yeah, Matt's on an invalid lap too. Matchin's not going to go much faster. Simon, we haven't really spoken about Simon. He's making his return. He's a poor old man. Can't do 10 p.m. races in New Zealand time anymore. So it's good to see him on tonight though. He's driving that disgusting Ferrari too. I'm not really mustn't be an Italian guy, Trev. I don't like the Ferrari 296 and I don't like the Lambo, so I don't know. But no. Simon jumps up to P5.
Simon up to P5, and the hype train completed at a level, whatever level it is, level 3 there. That is fantastic, as good as Simon on that lap. Jimbo, team radio. Oh, it says Jimbo, and there we go, completed 10 subs. We might have to update those goals. Let me tell you, the way they're coming in. And a big shout out, of course, to the anonymous gifter who shall remain nameless. And then it was Team Little Bear and Jimbo there with the Ricardo laugh. Let's hope he's laughing after the Emilia Romagna something or other Grand Prix, because let me tell you, he might not be in that seat for much longer from what we're hearing, and that would be terrible. But there are the qualifying times. Noodles, only man into the 27s with Distinct Andrew, Willstar, Hainsey, these names. And then on the third row, we've got Simon Bishop, who's in a Ferrari with that Red Bull livery, doesn't really like the time slot, and Matt Simmons as well with his Hank socks there in P6, and they'll give him plenty of good luck. Nick in 7th with the upgrade, and the rest of them there. Mac in pole position in his class, as well as Nismo. And yes, don't know what came over me there. I jumped onto his stream earlier tonight, Chuck, and just had to vent. Of course, but a little bit strange, and it was funny the response I got actually as well. He goes, "Oh, Trev, shouldn't you be warming up your vocal cords instead of hanging shit on Wilco?" And I said, "Yeah, I will." And I got back to it, and that was that. But I lost 1k coins because of Noodles going 0.00 Dick quicker than I predicted. Wowee! And look at that, the man that can piss his name into solid concrete. He is not happy at you, Wilco, because of Noodles, I should say, because he's lost his coins there.
Well, a win's a win in my book. Doesn't matter if it's by 1 second. I still just take some coins off Voodoo.
I'm going broke, man. I'm almost below 30k.
Doesn't matter.
I'm almost below. I've just won all these coins. I'm only on 16k, so fuck.
Oh,
But,
Nico.
Dude, I almost had you. You never had me. You never had your pole position. And you know how.
Value.
You going to explain those piston rings you fried? And
I got fastest lap too.
oh,
Oh, look at you go.
and thank you, Maxi Naked Blade, JJ jumping in as well. And we might take, I've just heard my own voice there. Early prediction is up. Who will pit first? Noodles or Andrew? 5 minutes. Gamble responsibly. Think of what you could be gambling with. And there we go. And if you're struggling to pay your bills, if you're having financial trouble, my advice would be to go double or nothing, really, and see if you can score those coins. And tell you what, your wife will love you for that. But less than a minute to go. The countdown's on. We might hear from a word from our sponsors. Of course, Maxi Naked Blade and Team Little Bear. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stay with us, gorgeous people. We'll be right back.
Season for the GT3 competition now. Look at that, 30 cars.
As we are on lap 123 of this charismatic French Bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and he'll be saying, woof, 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 woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water. But thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Their usual thing and going tits up. But we've got 6 hours, that's right, 6 hours to go here. And we're only on lap
Not
1.
too far away from Immortal Nick, but Immortal Nick right behind Vert Wheeler here. But Vert Wheeler still got to do that mandatory pit stop.
You can see there Vanessa enjoying this. She goes, "Oh, you're so brilliant and funny." And she absolutely loving that stream over there at 7 a.m. And this guy down there side by side with Random, and then it's Hoot Corp. Look at this down Kemmel Straight, Prince, as the team radio beeps are coming in, flying under the radar. Welcome to you, and it's so close. Is there going to be contact? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are flying through Google Earth here, and welcome along to the Red Bull Ring for round 4 of this championship, season 6 here tonight. Only 10 corners, one of the shorter tracks that we visit on the KRL calendar, and we are skydiving in. And let's hope our parachutes work tonight, because this corner, turn 1, the Castrol Edge, leads us up to turns 2 and 3. But, geez, if I didn't know any better, turn 2 isn't much more than just a straight line there up towards turn 3, and then down the back straight to turns 4. And then we get into the second part of this lap. Big shout out to our man Andrelli for getting us these fantastically awesome, outrageously incredible graphics. Turns 5, 6, 7, 8. And then Jochen Rindt, the former champion there for turn 9, named after him. And need to be a little bit quicker there, changing the scenes. Let me tell you, boy, Mr. Producer, what's going on? Joshy Green's joined us. Look at this. Bid Kyers, the man, the myth, the legend. And I think that's meant to be Kid Byers, but we'll take that close enough. And have a sick stream. He's up on the big screen in the Sparky container. Need a Sparky here. If you know anybody, got a few dodgy light switches, but you're probably too far away for that. Someone awesome fight back again, hopefully. We'll wait and see, but we are almost ready here, Jason Wilkinson. I'll get to you in just a moment, because you're going to be following the back of the pack at the start of this race. 60 minutes of racing action, and boy, we cannot wait to get underway here. Let me tell you, it's very, very close. You know what time it is? Come on. Green light, go, go, go. A race control getting us underway here. Round 4 of the GT3s from the Red Bull Ring. Noodles and Andrew close. In fact, so close that they touch going through the opening corner, but I think they've got away with that one on this occasion as the long run through turn 2. And there we go. Not really a turn, is it? But Willstar slots into 3rd. And then Hainsey, Mintman up to 4th. I beg your pardon, the timing sheets are going off. And Side Organ Matt Two good friends off of the track, but no love lost at all on it, that's for sure. But Noodles leads, Andrew second. Why do I get a feeling that that's going to be close right throughout the course of the evening? And clear conditions here, track temperature 23, air temperature the same. And somebody trailing there at the back, Jason, but I think it is all smooth sailing so far on lap one.
Yeah, we've still got a couple quarters to go. There's still a lot of 2x2 down the back here. But yeah, that was Machin. So Machin disconnected, I think, in the pre-race procedure. So he started from pit lane. So he was up in 13th. Dead last now, and he's probably about, 10 seconds off the lead. So luckily, the field's so big that he should catch up quite quickly. But there's a lot of 2x2s and 3s. Oh, Mr. Beaky nearly lost it there. But yeah, there's a lot of action. I think they're starting to sort themselves out. On hopefully a nice.
And let's have a look. End of lap one here. Noodles in the McLaren, just ahead of Distinct Andrew. And then it's Hainsey as well, right amongst the action. Will Star there in fourth. Matthew Simmons in fifth. You can see there a little bit cloudy. I don't think we've got any rain predicted, but keep an eye on the top of your screen because that's where all the weather information comes through. Simon and Matt. And Simon Bishop here, a little bit of damage to the front of that Ferrari, but still no harm done as he pursues his good friend and mine, Matthew Simmons there. That's right, the Matthew Simmons, of course, of Gran Turismo fame. Simon Bishop, pretty famous as well, but yes, they're both equally as famous and both equally as fantastic in my eyes. But behind them, look at the train of cars, Chuck Norris. All starting with, we've got Nick, Easy Mac, Norm and Smitty all together here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, this is what we love to see, and for those that might not know, the people that might be new to the KRL broadcast here, we run LFMBOP, and Wilco tends to spice it up a little bit, depending on if the cars are a little bit too overpowered, just to try and bring them all to an even playing field. That way it's just purely based on your driver skill. But honestly, every single round, Trev, we've seen really close qualifying and really close battles all the way through the grid, which is good to see. And obviously we haven't, fingers crossed, we have not seen a yellow flag or a collision yet. So a big train making their way through.
Big train indeed. Big trains of Memphis, an old song there. Mac coming through there. Norm, let's have a look at the drivers lower down the order. Vibesy right at the back there.
He's done his pit stop.
And he's done his pit stop as well. And Chuck Norris alongside me. And we see a lot of hand sanitizers claiming to kill 99.9% of germs. Well, Chuck can kill 100%. He can go one better than that. 100% of everything that he even looks at. So there you have it. What a badass. Sort of man that pours Pepsi into Coke containers. That's what he's like. But 56 minutes remaining. She likes bad boys, and Chuck is very much that. But Andrew in the lead, Chuck. He is side by side here. Look at this, Chuck.
Yeah, this is what we love to see in the middle of Sector 2. So I'm taking a lot of pointers off of these lads at the moment with the way they're driving, what curbs they're not touching, and how much of the runoff they're actually utilising as well, which is good to see. But Noodles looks like he's provisionally got the lead back from Andrew there, Trev.
Oh, he does. He's got it back, but for how long, Jason? I can hear Jason in the background with a lot of ooh and ah and ooh.
And Glenn McGrath.
That's right. This man, I tell you what, Chuck Norris. We could talk about cricket all night long, but
Will Star and Hainsey just in the background there going side by side as well.
Well, there's a bit
of win and Aaron.
Hainsey!
Hainsey! No!
Hainsey is around. Oh no! Said Lewis in 2016 at Malaysia when his engine blew up and Nico Rosberg won the championship in equal equipment. But Hainsey, where is he going to come out? Did he get back going again, Wilco?
He did. He spun it, but then I think Matt might have finished him off, but it actually helped him out. He just did a full 360. Started the car back up, and he only went down to P11, so you have a little bit of damage, but probably not as bad as you want. But yeah, I was just oohing and ahhing earlier in the lap because Andrew and Noodles last week they finished under a 10th across the line. Noodles got Andrew. They're under a 10th, 0 gap at the end of an hour race. These boys are going to be having another ding-dong battle. Andrew's going to want to get the chocolates tonight. He's going to be pushing hard, and he seems to have the pace. That McLaren is notoriously slow on the straights. So, I think there's a little bump there going off the hill there, but can Andrew sneak up the inside here?
As there's... Oh, look at this. I know there's a yellow flag in Sector 2, but I don't care because this battle... Oh, my goodness. Oh, I've been through there a few times. That is not a place where you want to have the car, is it, Wilco? But he comes across the line. Noodles maintains the lead. Absolutely loved the ooh-ah Glenn McGrath from Chuck Norris. And that was fantastic. But lap 4 of this race, distinct Andrew, very, very close. I think someone come a cropper there in the midfield. Was it
Ernie Drongo, and I think Spawn as well.
And Spawn, where did he... Spawn Racing, he's back going again. They're all dropping down the field. As you can see, Andrew and Noodles, this battle, incredible to watch. There's no other way to describe it, is there? But we're only 7 or so minutes in. And look at this, Noodles and Andrew. Willstar now 2.4 seconds back to Willstar. As you can see there, it doesn't look like 2.4, but... well, is it going to be a two-horse race here, Wilco, do you reckon? There's a long, long way to go, but these two really the class of the field so far.
Yeah, well, I said if these guys keep fighting, as Andrew has a big drift through there, that was massive, and Noodles drops the wheel on the exit there, so they're pushing. They're going to potentially can cook their tyres, and that allows the guys like Will, Matt, Simon, who we do know is unreal. He babies those tyres and rears the, oh no, I won't go in there with that joke, but he looks after his tyres beautifully, but that Ferrari doesn't, so it's sort of evens it out, I guess, by the end. But yeah, Matt and Will be keeping their tyres in check, and hopefully these two boys at the front battle hard and cook their tyres.
As 133, was that Saint Sim in some sort of trouble there down further down the field?
193 matching.
Yeah, that's right. I can't see that. Can I? 193 and 133, but wow, there you have it.
Simon's got damage. He's in the pits. So he might have, as soon as he might have hit the wall as soon as I stopped watching him. He's in the pits. I'm sure he'll shoot us a quick message in the stream, as I can do, and let us know what happened.
Well, let us know, Simon, because we are feeling your pain. Talk about a commentator's curse. Jason was just talking about how he likes to...
Go on with Hainsey, Norm and Mac are almost 3 wide there.
Hainsey, Norm, Mac and Cheese. Look how close it is. Hainsey. Ooh, is that going to work? Is that going to work? Hello there, Norm.
He's going to be outside now.
And the outside now. Norm on the inside, Hainsey on the outside. Look at this, both McLarens there, of course. But that is very close for comfort. One wrong move could end very, very terribly, that's for sure. But look how close it is in the middle. You can see a couple of drivers well down the field here in their class. But Mac leading his class, Noodles leading his. And Hainsey's very much out of position in many ways. He's in this big train. Well, it's going to be hard for him. He's going to have to try and clear some of these guys very quickly.
Yeah, and he will have a little bit of damage. He will be actually slower on the straights, but of course, as I said earlier, Mac in that Lexus just takes off on the straights. He struggles through the middle sector where the car's not as quick. As soon as he opens the taps going onto the front straight and this second straight, see you later. Literally just drives away.
And 10 minutes in, see you later. And yes, of course, the Hulk heading to Audi. And Hainsey there now, P8, 7 in his class. Let's go back to the front then. This battle continues now. That gap 3 seconds back to Willstar. And Noodles, Andrew, Willstar. Is that somebody ahead of Willstar? That might be some traffic there. Matt, of course. Then Nick, who's been upgraded, of course, to the business class Pro Lounge. And he's doing very nicely indeed. There is Easy Mac. And like you said, Wilco, struggling in this middle part of the lap in that Lexus. But, boy, on the main straights, that's when he gets the business done. Norm there as well. As you can see there, the curb cam copping it. There we go. No mercy for that. Mac just ahead of Norm, Hainsey, Smitty. And what else is happening? As Mrs. B has joined us. As we are launching, Mrs. B, an investigation into the whereabouts of the Mother's Day Cadbury favourite selection.
No, Trev said he ate him just 3 days ago. He said, he goes, I sat in the office.
And
I literally heard him say that.
that's all right. We've muted him now. I think we've got the ability to mute Mrs. B making the apple. I knew I could smell apple pie there, Mrs. B. And boy, she's got a bone to pick with you, Chuck, because you kicked her out as well, as she seems to have established the fact that I might have eaten those chocolates, and that is not good for anybody's business.
Yeah, so talking about an investigation, the one person you don't want to be leading the investigation is Shaggy, because all he'll say is, it wasn't me.
And oh, Shaggy, yes, that's it. And yes, there we go. The first person I thought of was Raggy from the Raggy himself. But there we go. Mrs. B has made apple pie, and there we go. She's laughing now, but she was a bit mad there before. And that usually suggests that I need to get those extra pillows and Doona out onto the couch in the lounge room there. But anyway, I've just flicked the lock on the commentary box door, Mrs. B, so you can try all you will, but you won't get in on this action, let me tell you. But 12 minutes into the race, 8 laps completed. She's still mad. When she does that little chicken emoji thing, that's when she's really pissed. Anyway, that's okay. 13 minutes in, roughly, and we've got Andrew, but Willstar now, 4.3 further back. The gap is increasing. Chuck.
Yeah, it is. So
Who are you?
You were cutting out, but yeah. Turn off the Kayama. Go turn off all the electronics so Trev doesn't cut out again. But yeah, I'm back. I'm not sure what you said. You said something about gaps, but I'm watching Andrew again. He's locked back onto Noodles, and he's going to be trying to just sit in that slipstream and hopefully use that BMW power and fly up the inside into one of the braking zones.
As you can see here, let us know if I'm cutting out or not. Give us your feedback. Of course, this August is Charity Month. That'll come round thick and fast, won't it? Oh, Andrew, mind your manners. He's got a habit of doing this, Chuck Norris. Yeah, all right, try and bust into the commentary box. See what happens, Mrs. B. Just shore it up there with a couple of things there. But Andrew's got a habit of doing this, Chuck Norris, where he gets close, and he gets ready to pounce, and then he just overcooks it a little bit, and the ox will be slow, but the earth needs to be patient, doesn't he? If he's going to get past here, and Noodles really needs to be patient if he's going to make a move here, Chuck. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And our prediction that we put in earlier for who will pit first, it is between our two leading drivers here. So they're tick for tacking for the best lap, or the purple lap of the race. Noodles had it, then Andrew stole it, and now Noodles has taken it back. So it is heating up between these guys, but the strategy, I feel, at Red Bull Rink is going to play a big part in this race. We had rain last night in the GT2s. Looks like it's going to be nice and cloudy with that the fog in the distance there. So we might dodge the rain here, but pit strategy, I feel like, plays more of a part here than where you are on track. So I'm interested to see which one of these guys is going to bite the bullet, come in first, because it might pay off.
Tell you what, it's difficult to take your eyeballs off this battle, isn't it? And you can see there, 1/4 into the race, Andrew still behind Noodles. I'll be back, says Mrs. B, and we'll look forward to that. Please be nice. I see you lurking out there. 21 people watching. Please consider following the stream if you haven't already. And of course, Chuck and I are in the, it's not quite the space race, but still looking to get the first to 400 followers. And it's just a little thing we have going. But Savage Duck, and you heard Cam there talking about the conditions here. We saw the yes, and we've got a follower there. And as soon as I said it, it happened. HSDNA Hasna 2 is now following the channel. Let's hope you're a real human being. And if you are, then type something into the chat and let us know you're there. But Savage Duck, I'm going to throw one to you here, Jason Wilkinson. Curveball, if I may. Which of the cars would be more thirsty between these two leaders on fuel, BMW or McLaren?
Probably the Beamer slightly. I haven't really driven it too much. I know the McLaren with like the back of my hand, and it's not too bad on fuel. But fuel isn't really an issue for these sort of races. It's an hour race. It's 25-second minimum pit stop for fuel, so it means that pretty much people would chuck in maybe 40 minutes of fuel, which is only 70, 80 litres, and then chuck in the extra 30 or whatever they need for the end. But some people might short fill and try and have it smack on 30 minutes and split it halfway down the middle. I've always thought it's a little bit better to go a little bit further into the race, then you can really see what the cars around you are doing. So say let's say Noodles pits in the next 10 minutes, Andrew will see where Noodles comes out. So if Noodles comes out in this train, which is sort of through that middle sector now, Andrew knows that I can go a little bit further, wait for all those guys to pit, come out and fresh air myself with fresh tyres as well. So there's a little bit of strategy to it. It's not as simple as pit on the 30 minute and just be done with it, because there's lap traffic and different speeds of everyone. It makes it a bit more of a strategic race, really. But fuel isn't an issue.
No, fuel not an issue. Hope that's answered your question there.
Here's Andrew.
And here's Andrew. There is Andrew on your screen now. And a big shout out, thank you. G'day, Chocky Chin Water Arrow, says HSDNA2, enjoying ACC far more than GT7 these days. And he says, thank goodness I stumbled across the stream. And the man alongside me, Jason Wilkinson, will be joyful to hear that, because he hates GT7, always has. And he says, enjoying ACC. Oh my goodness, this is so close at the front we'll go, isn't it? But anyway, thank you for that, HSDNA. Enjoying ACC more than GT7, loving the stream, and I'm glad that you stumbled across us, because it's a pleasure to have you here and have you as part of the family. And Hainsey there just jumping in and saying, I'm going home. Remember Sebastian a few years ago, Hainsey channeling some of that. I should just go home. And Water Arrow saying, keep going, Hainsey, and you're too good for your home. Remember Happy trying to get that putt in to get the gold jacket and save Grant. You're too good for your home? Answer me! My way. Anyway, so 42 minutes to go. Great movie. Getting a reboot on Netflix, I saw there. But something else. Give me something. Give me something, Mac. Mac and Cheese. Is this man a graduate of the Academy? Wilco, the Mac Miller Academy there. He's right up behind Matt Simmons here. And boy, Matt Simmons, not an easy man to pass, but he is a marked man in that big Barbie-coloured Lambo that you hate so much.
Well, I don't hate the colour, but yeah, Matt does have. Remember, he T-bone staked Hainsey out of turn 1, so he's obviously got a fair bit of damage and he really slow. So that's probably affecting a good half a second to a second a lap here. So yeah, he's definitely got some damage on the front and rear.
As I know everybody out there watching thinking, surely there's got to be more people in this race. And we'll quickly do a recap. There is Saint Sim down at the back there. And JJ Norm's Spawn. I don't think that's for position. Sideways Polka. Simon Bishop. Why is he so far down the field? Look, I guess he's made his stop though, hasn't he? And he's coming back through. So short lap here. And we'll wait and see how that works out for the 222 Ferrari. Hainsey as well. He's been in the wars. Vibesy too. But let's have a look here. And HSDNA says, thank you, member of Discord already, but the old shift work gets in the way a lot. Hope to participate one day soon. Get a few shift workers, don't we, on the stream? And Voodoo sending love. Just to introduce us all, this is like one of those Teams meetings or Skype meetings at work, isn't it? So let's go around the room and introduce yourselves. My name's Jason. I play Sea of Thieves and don't invite anybody else, and like long walks on the beach, and I'm forklift certified. And there we go. That's Wilco for you. And I go into Spanish restaurants and order lamb skewers. And there we go. So just thought I'd...
Just the lamb skewers again, please.
And then Albert sitting next to me. What do you think you are doing? And there we go. And yes, I've watched The Mask of Zorro. Or was that Mexico? But anyway, 13 laps completed. Oh, and good gracious, Mavis. There,
Noodle's going to
Vibesy.
pit.
And is Noodles going to pit?
Oh, no,
that's
please don't,
so
Noodles.
close. Chuck Norris. Chuck.
Still side by side.
Still side by side. Imagine we saw a close finish last time out, didn't we? But Noodles and Andrew still continuing on. The old shift work gets in the way. HSDNA hope to participate one day soon. I'm even thinking of coming out of retirement. But let's be honest, I could live to be 150 and still not race like this, Chuck Norris, because this is absolutely stupendously incredible.
Yeah, not wrong, Trevor. And, especially after the finish that we had last week, I believe it was Nürburgring.
Noodles
these guys are definitely going all over it. But Noodles, he seems to be making some simple mistakes here now. I think he's pushed quite a bit on those
the pressure.
on the current set of
the
tires,
pressure is on,
and it's kind of costing him a little bit. So, yeah, I do feel like Noodles is going to pit first, and I'm going to lose more points to Wilco.
And look at this. There is some sort of unsavoury business going on here in the kit coin selection. Yellow flag out for something. And the voice of Chuck Norris there. And if you've got an imaginary friend and you're out there watching, just remember Chuck Norris can kill them as well. That's how good he is. But 38 minutes remaining in the session. Oh, jeez, it's so close. And my heart is palpitating like you wouldn't believe here. And
Craig over the drive-through. Sorry, lads.
Yeah,
Craig
track
over the
limits.
drive-through for the track limits. First one to bite the dust.
Track limits, we see it in every class of motor racing around here, don't we? Those track limits around here at the A1 Red Bull Ring, and you can see Noodles across the line.
Noodles again.
Oh, this is
He's
very
gonna dive
close.
in turn one.
You can't separate them
He
here.
rolled out of it.
And he's pulled out of it just at the critical point. Noodles wants that place back. Jason, is he going to get it here? Shades of Rosberg and Hamilton back in 2015. Look at this. Oh, 2016, I can't remember. But this is very close, Craigo, with that drive-through penalty. Is he close enough, Wilco?
Not quite. I think he seems to be happy just behind now. So maybe he wants to put the pressure on and try and maybe he's got a couple track on his. Or he's trying to put pressure on Andrew so he gets some track on him. But he definitely could have had a go in turn one there because he definitely had the run. And in the slipstream, that McLaren's actually quite low wing, but he's got some poke on the straight line.
So lap 15 now, 15 and a half roughly laps completed. Distinct Andrew and Noodles, we'll get back to that in a moment. Will Star, and he's just rounding up Vibesy there. Goodbye all, says Savage Duck. And there we go, the man who had some issues with his cat and his keyboard a little bit earlier on this evening. And he knows all about the cardiac arrhythmia and all of that sort of stuff. And thank you, Savage Duck, for understanding. But where's Matt Simmons? There is Matt Simmons. He's got Nick for company. Less than a second,
so
that one.
Mac must have made a mistake because he was obviously there in P7. So it might have been a little slip up by Mac there, but he's battling Spinny again. But yeah, Matt and Nick are having about to.
Matthew Simmons, and this man, it's just unbelievable that we've got him racing with us. He's I never actually realised he was a human being until I actually heard him speak to us because I thought he was...
And show you his feet last week.
Yep. And that's all it takes, really. Just some custom-made socks and some sweaty Simmons sim racing feet, and that'll do it. And you can see that as 35 minutes remaining here. We'll get back to that in a moment. Approaching half race distance where the Universal Boss lets us know all about it. But Matthew, the tyre whisperer, we spoke about Simon Bishop making love to tyres, but it's very important to make love to those tyres and whisper to them sweet nothings, because it's all important, isn't it, Chuck, to keep those tyres in very, very good nick for the latter half of the race.
Yeah, exactly. And with the strategy that people can go for, obviously, we've got pit stint timer, I guess you could call it. So 25 second fixed time for fuel. And if you want to take tyres, it's an extra 5 seconds. So unless you feel like you can gain that extra 5 seconds and more back on the track, you can take tyres. But if you can't, you've really got to look after them early on. And You know, a track like Red Bull Ring, I haven't really turned many laps around here, if I'm being honest, but it
Whoa.
seems very abrasive on the tyres, the curbs. It's very easy to make a mistake and scrub them. So making sure that you look after them, not unless you want to be taking a new set and make that time back, it's not worth it.
Tell you what, that advice coming from the man himself. We talked about him going out to restaurants and ordering dessert before the main course. Well, he goes out to restaurants and the waiters tip him. That's the sort of man he is. But I heard a few ooh-ah Glenn McGraths, Wilco. What was all that about?
I saw last, I think it was, had an incident. I was watching back on his stream where he's obviously closed application and quit, but he looks like he made a little mistake and nosedived into the wall and quickly returned to garage and left. So I'll keep an eye on that. But Noodles is all over Andrew again.
Noodles, we are just looking at that as well. Goodbye to you, Savage Duck. Please don't leave us. But let me tell you, indeed, this is heating up here for the time being, and our best wishes are with whoever it was we just talked about there who's left us. We've lost a couple, but we had a 30-odd with us to start the evening tonight. Oh, my goodness me. This is just a game of cat and mouse here, Chuck Norris. And let me tell you that they can't keep doing this. How far are they ahead? They're not that far ahead of Willstar either, are they? 5.3 seconds. They're still gaining on him, though, are they, Wilco? I think 5.3 now, the gap.
Yeah, so when they went side by side 3 or 4 laps ago, they lost about a second in that fight. Matt's in the pits now, by the way, so let's see how long his pit stop is. I reckon he should get this damage fixed. But the more Noodles and Andrew fight, the more that Will, as we know, he's very fast. He's going to just keep on sneaking in the back of them. I think if Wills latches onto the back of these two, he in that Aston, he could be a sneaky chance at a win here. So if Will gets his head down, tries to chip away that 5-second gap over the pit stop period, he could be in that sort of fight for the honours at the end of the race.
Oh, these two, they're both dyed in the wool races, Chuck Norris, but I've got to ask you a question. Of course, me not being a multiple champion, it's difficult for me to sort of put my mind in the shoes of a racing driver, but I've got to ask you, Chuck, in this sort of situation, are you better off battling the car in front and sort of doing this kind of thing, or if you're Noodles or you're the driver behind, do you just consider sitting back and maybe easing off a little bit, or is that not in your Chuck Norris DNA as a racing driver?
Yeah, look, it really just depends, and I think Wilco nailed it on the head too, that, you know, if Will latches onto the back of these guys, I got a feeling they're going to be in more of a drama than what Will is. You know, Will's been casually pushing, he's saved his tyres, he can latch onto the back, pit early, and get an undercut on them. You know, and probably end up in front of them knowing his pace. So I think Noodles trying to save his tyres, he's probably got a few track limit warnings and he doesn't want to push too hard and get that last one. But also the other side of things, you know, if he goes for Ascend, which there's a couple of good opportunities around here to do, if he makes a mistake, it could quite easily cost it. So, you know, it's about, I think, at this point in time, making sure that you get yourself to the pit box, nail your marks on your way in, on your way out, and hope that you can capitalize and make something out of it. But yeah, making sure you're not losing enough time to Willstar, that, you know, looking at that battle going, keep battling, guys. I'm creeping closer every lap. You know, there's a lot of different sides to what could be going on in that situation.
And I tell you what, I love listening to the advice of the one and only Chuck Norris. We are approaching half the race distance. Chuck, are we seeing any Nords action tonight, just quickly, on your channel?
Negative. I've actually, I've done my first direct drive injury. I've almost broken my thumb quite a few times, but the other night I actually really ruined it. I heard a crack in my thumb, and I'm hoping it's not screwed up. But yeah, no Nords for me tonight. I've actually got to work on a setup and prepare for my 4 a.m. race around Red Bull Ring 2.
That's all right. So stay tuned for that 4 a.m. South Australian time, a little bit earlier, wherever you are kind of western side of the globe, and in New Zealand it's always a weird time over there, isn't it, no matter what they do. But a half race distance gone and half the race distance still to go, and you can see there a little bit light on the crowd around this circuit, and they're too busy off. And
Andrew had a massive tank starter coming out of that corner. I don't know how he saved that.
Seemed to hold it together. And Noodle's still in pursuit. They're coming up with some traffic as well, Wilco, so this is going to be interesting.
This is the time to pit right now. Come on, Noodles, do your thing. Box and stop.
No,
okay, so I did say in the drive, tap your brakes if you're going to go into the pits, which I'm trying to say is I'm trying to quickly spit it out, and Andrew is going
as they're...
So I think the bet's voided again.
No, better luck next time.
Oh!
I paid this up to you,
Noodles hit Andrew then, and I reckon Andrew's now... He went over the speed limit.
Tipped him over the 50s of 50 Ks or 50 miles.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully not, but if he has, then that's going to give a drive-through or even a stop-go to Andrew. So hopefully Andrew slowed down enough that he didn't get knocked over that, but he's definitely got some damage there that I can see the back of the car. So that's not ideal. It's not really, the type of racing these boys have been doing over the last 2 weeks. They've always been really good. As Simon gets the drive-through for track limits.
Ooh, we saw Simon, didn't we? Simon says, Chuck can tell him what to do, but we saw Simon, of course, in earlier series, wasn't he, Wilco, having issues? It was him, wasn't it, with having issues with drive-through penalties. It seems that he's fallen foul of something again here.
Yeah, that was more stop-goes and stuff for just not getting the pit lane procedure right. As so Noodles didn't take tyres, I don't think. Unless Andrew really did do that damage and he's lost all that time. But let's see if Andrew gets a penalty. Please, no penalty. He did.
Oh.
He got a stop-go for being pushed into the pit lane. That's not ideal.
So, wow, well that, I'm guessing that's going to have to go to the post-race steward's room or something, Wilco. I reckon you might have to, we might have to keep an eye on that one, because that's unfair, isn't it, in terms of Andrew's race, really. And just seemed to be coming into the pits there, Chuck, and it can happen so easily. You just lose a bit of that concentration for a split second, and next thing you're right behind the driver in front and just tipping him over, unfortunately, on that occasion. So we've got Andrew there with that stop-go 30. So can he continue on, Wilco? Does he need to serve that, or...?
Yeah, there's unfortunately no admin controls to remove penalties on the console, so he has to do it or he's going to get DQ'd. So he's got 3 laps to do it, but that's a kick to the dick. That's for everyone, really, everyone watching, and for us commentating. It's sort of wrecked the battle, because Noodles is the one that did the wrong, run up the arse of Andrew, and Andrew's the one that cops a penalty for it. So obviously it wasn't intentional. Noodles we've seen how these guys race. They're hard but fair, so it's just to not ghost Andrew. It was just before the pit lane starts, so there was no ghosting, and yeah, Noodles pushed him into the pit lane and gave Andrew a stop-go 30.
Yeah, I think just to quickly add in there as well, for the viewers that might not have driven around Red Bull Ring before, the commitment that you have on the pit lane entry, it's basically full flat out and you're slamming the anchors on at the real last second. You could see in the moment that Noodles did try to drag his car to the right, but obviously there's the pit board there and you don't want to be removing that for the other drivers too. So yeah, I mean, it's very unfortunate nonetheless, but the commitment that you do coming into pit lane, you'd assume that you'd slow down a little bit earlier if you're trailing somebody in. But sometimes if you right bumper to bumper it coming in, sometimes that's all you need to come out of pit lane first.
Great advice there from Chuck Norris alongside us here this evening, the Nigerian Prince, of course. Jump over to his channel. V is for Voodoo Live, and we've got the link as well pinned, don't we, Chuck, for the August charity month at the top of the chat. So please, if you're out there watching, I know you are, jump across to the link provided at the top of the chat, and please get involved. Coming up, big month, probably the biggest we do here in the sim racing world. And why are we looking at Smitty in the pit lane stationary? I was about to say Nick and Smitty are in the pits, and that's going to see Noodles go out to the race lead. And I think you said it straight off the bat, Wilco, it's pretty much cost us. It's cost us a lot of, well, that battle we saw in the first half of the race, it's cost us big time, hasn't it, from a spectacle point of view here, because we're not really going to see that spectacle. Smitty out of the pit lane now, and Will Star further up into second. Spawn there as well, yet to make his stop. What else is happening in the other classes? We've got Smitty there, leading the way, Mac in second, and Nismo won his class in the GT2s last night, Wilco, and he's doing very nicely here again. About 10, 11, something or other, dozen or so seconds in front there in his class.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just watching the replay to see exactly. Noodles actually grabs the grass momentarily as he hit the brakes, and then he got off the brakes and back on. At that stage, that's when he ran up the backside of Andrew. And I'm just watching Andrew B. He was definitely going to slow down to below 50 as he got down to about 70, and then he got hit, which pushed him back up to 80, and then he went across the line. So, yeah, we'll have to, I'm the steward, obviously, with Mr. Bob. We'll have to come up with a penalty for that. But Noodles looks like he's giving himself a drive-through or stop-go 30 himself, maybe. Maybe that's what's happening, because he's back in the pits now. So I think that's what he's doing. Which again, he's taking that on the chin. He knows he would have got a penalty for it. So I'll do a stop go 30, which is what I've cost Andrew. Which yeah, it's probably not a bad thing.
That actually makes sense. So he could probably time this if he's deciding just to throw tires on. That'll mean that he's actually stationary for that 30 seconds as well. So if he is doing it, it's great sportsmanship, if I'm being honest.
Great to see. I hadn't even thought about that, Chuck, to be honest, Wilco, for him to come in. But like you said, Chuck, very great to see with the sportsmanship shown there. And where is that going to put him?
Well, Andrew's going through the last corner now, so I think he'll probably come out and let Andrew go, I guess. So, I mean, that's sort of the situation that, obviously, yeah, I can hear Noodles just rolling out of the throttle, and he will stop behind Andrew, who's just going through turn 1 now. So yeah, that's good sportsmanship by Noodles, but unfortunately, there's a little flash there. Oh, okay, that wasn't ideal.
And where's Noodles?
Did we see that?
Here?
Did you see that on your screen? Andrew went past and sideswiped Noodles then. It wasn't ideal.
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's not quite as nice as what we thought. It just I don't know. It just one thing leads to another. I know that it's easy up here, Chuck, talking about it, but I mean, does that open up the potential for a penalty for doing that? I don't know. Just one thing leads to another, doesn't it? I mean, and now Noodles is pulling off the track altogether, Jason. He's quit for tonight, I think. He's back into the pit lane.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of rivalry starting, I guess. They've been racing each other the last weeks, hard and fair, as we said. But yeah, little mistake there by Noodles. Try and do the right thing, and obviously, as I said, it wasn't intentional to push Andrew over the line, but he tried to do the right thing and give himself the same penalty back. But obviously, Andrew isn't too happy. But he's still the points leader. He's going to be fighting his way through the field. So he's in 21st at the moment. So how far can he get up the rest of the race?
Well, I tell you what. Very strange set of circumstances there. It was a good battle to start the race, but it's not how you start, it's how you finished. And guess what, folks? The show must go on, isn't that right, Wilco? And in the meantime, Will Star's in the lead. We'll move on.
Yeah, well, we did say if something happens to those front two, that Will's just in the box seat. And now he's got a fairly decent lead over who's just gone through the last corner. So he's almost got, I'd say that'd be about 10 or 12 seconds by the time that that filters through. 14 seconds. Will is in front now.
And Well, I tell you
Yeah.
what, 2/3 of the race gone, 20 minutes to go. Like we said, the show goes on. And 26 laps completed there. Like we said, Will Star's in the lead. And you can see Matchin there in second. Nick up into third. Mint Matt is right up behind Nick. And this is for a podium finish, Jason, of course. We haven't spoken much about Matt, but he's in that distasteful pink Lamborghini that you really don't like. But I tell you what, he's on for a podium potentially.
Yeah, well, Machin hasn't pitted yet, so he is effectively fighting for P2 at the moment, with Mac doing really well, my teammate in Kings Racing. Really just taking that third driver role off Binger, because Binger's too busy, and I think he's sick actually, so he's taken that third driver role off Binger and said, Binger, old man, you can be the fourth driver, get out of the way, Mac, it's Mac time. Down up in P5 in the Lexus in a KRL race, which is unreal. Which probably will be P4 by the time Matchin pitches.
Lewis has hammer time. What does Mac have?
Mac and cheese time.
Mac and cheese time indeed. Very nicely done there. Voodoo. Noodles did show sportsmanship doing what he did. Sadly, sometimes the emotions get the better of people. Two wrongs don't make a right. And that's kind of what I was saying. Not quite in as eloquently as the great man, but yeah, just one thing just leads to another, doesn't it, Wilco? He tried to sort of right the wrong, didn't he, by coming into the pits. He slowed down for Andrew, and then Andrew sort of did a Sebastian Vettel on him from Azerbaijan all those years ago. And, yeah, just sort of, anyway, it's good for the Netflix drama. Imagine if we've got the KRL Drive to Survive cameras at this circuit. Of course, we saw the drama. And imagine that, Chuck. We had the GT2s in the wet last night. And boy, I tell you what, there'll be plenty of doors getting smashed there between Andrew and Noodles, that's for sure. But you can see there what he wouldn't do. He'd probably do the whole paddock, wouldn't he, to get that time back? Able to flog the whole paddock to get them.
I'd hugged them.
As Gunter, yes, how good is that? 27 laps completed. Matchin yet to make his stop. Hello there, and I think Nick's through, is he? And I think Matt is about to get through there. I think it might be time for that Matchin to stop.
Matchin and Nick are actually teammates, so are they going to do a bit of a sneaky and hold each other up? Maybe.
The other thing, I don't know if you guys can see it better than what I can, but has Matt opted not to fix the car because the front splitter still looks damaged?
And I think it might be still damaged. I think from what I can see.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm watching the rear of the car and it's been sandblasted like he's been driving in Dubai with the Prince alongside him. So yeah, it's not looking too good. But yeah, so Matchin and Nick are teammates in the Enduros. So he's doing a little bit of games playing here. He looks like, I didn't see what happened, but I'm assuming Matchin let Nick through. And now Matt knows what's going on. So he's saying, hey, what are you doing? Racing here. And up the inside he goes. No games being played there. That's and right. Matt continues on.
Well, he knows better than to hit Matt Simmons, that's for sure. But
Max really latched on, hasn't he? Max right behind him.
And Mac, I tell you what, driver of the day. I'd love to get your thoughts out there on the chat. But geez, Mac's driven an incredible race, hasn't he, Wilco? In that car, the 99 Lexus doing very nicely indeed. We heard it's good in a straight line, not so good in the infield section. But in the middle part of the lap, it's still good on the main straights nonetheless. And I think that was a little bit of a cheeky hold up there from Matchin, but I've got to say, we've seen that over the years plenty of times, haven't we, in all different types of motorsport.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Like he wasn't blocking too hard. Looks like he's going to pit now. He wasn't blocking, against the rules. So it's just that happens. What happens? That's what happens when you've got a teammate or a racer. Just hold up a car for a couple of seconds and get going, but of course doing that to a guy like Matt Simmons, that only just enrages the bull, and I reckon we could see some quite fast laps here by Matt trying to get that P2.
Yep, I tell you what, yes, it's happened over the years. Might have even done it myself in sim racing, although I wasn't really quick enough to. Well, I held lots of people up. I didn't actually mean to hold them up though. But anyway, 15 minutes to go And yes, F1 2015. First game that I come across one Jason Wilkinson. If you remember, Wilco, we had a wet to dry qualifying session here on whatever championship that was. I think you might have been one of the last across the line. And there we go. I don't know whether I was a driver or a commentator back when that was happening. But anyway,
Probably
Matt.
a driver. It was before we properly met. 2018 was when, I said, oh, hi, mate, you're good at commentary. Do you want to do streaming for our race? He's like, yeah, no worries. And then first week, talking about yourself. Oh, the time was off the shizer here. Good memories that was. 2018.
And boy, let me tell you, I answered a DM from Wilco. Now I'm married with a baby, and you name it, and a mortgage.
And that's not even against me.
And
not even with me.
there we go.
No against me.
Well, imagine how tall they'd be, and they could drive and commentate at the same time. That'd be some sort of super race of Karam.
Maybe like voodoo.
Oh yeah, I can do that. And you certainly can, Chuck Norris, because driver of the day, Chuck. Get your votes in. I'm just looking to click my little Mac Miller thing here. 67% going for Mac, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's getting very dark here in Austria, and the hills very much alive with the sound of these beautiful GT3 cars. And is Will Star home yet, Jason? We don't know, do we? But he very well could be.
Well, without putting the commentator's curse on, yeah, he 16 seconds in the lead, 30 minutes to go. He should be cruising as long as he doesn't get involved with any lapped cars, which there is actually Jimbo and... Sorry, not Jimbo. Ooh. Beaky and Chipperton are actually battling for third in the M class. We haven't really spoken about the other classes. We've got Nismo ahead in the... I got the hiccups again. And, Beaky, just a nice little switchback there, gets at the inside and into P3 in the M class with Jimbo in P2. So they're looking good. If we go back through the Pro-Am, we've got Mac, as we said, up in 4th. Then we've got Mark and Kilroy in the top 3 for the AMs. Sorry, the Pro-Ams. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mixed field now. We've got guys like Simon, someone awesome, obviously. Andrew had some issues tonight. Figo's hasn't really had much pace tonight, but maybe he's had some issues. As I say that, he's just coming back onto the track, but yeah, he's got a bit of sandblasting on the side of the car too. So there's a few other pro boys having some issues tonight, which isn't ideal for them, but I'm got that top 10 quite easily.
And whilst you were I'm just seeing there matching with the stop-go, speeding in the pit lane we're hearing, Wilco.
Yes.
Matching, so he left it late to come in, and that's not going to be good for him, Chuck. As you can see there, now he's on his way again. Nismo leading his class. But look how close it is. Jimbo, then we've got Beaky and Chipperton. These two love a good battle, don't they? Hopefully, we know they're squabbling amongst themselves. Will they be alert to the fact that the leader is coming through? And
should be.
They should be. They're pretty good like that, aren't they? But yeah, you can see sometimes when they're having little battles amongst themselves and a quicker car's coming up, sometimes they're sort of that involved in their own battles. But I think they're pretty good, aren't they, all round, these guys? Chipperton there, and in fact he's a little bit behind Jimbo now. But Craigo and someone awesome. Look at this, Chuck Norris, in different classes but very close, both in Ferraris and in my Ferrari. Carlos, you won't be in your Ferrari next year. You are getting an offer of a one-year deal from Mercedes, potentially, with an option for Max or that other chap, the young kid, for the following year. But enough about that, because Ferrari v Ferrari, Mr. Enzo Ferrari would be up there thinking, oh my goodness me, what the two cars that we're seeing here, Battle of Kazi. And you can see how close is it though, Chuck, between these two at the moment, Craig and someone awesome.
It's good to see, you know, even though we've got our drivers separated into different classes. For those that might not know, the white background behind the car number, that symbolises that they're pro, silver is pro-am, and red are our am drivers. So yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, we might bracket our drivers based on their performance, but you know, sometimes, depending on the track, the drivers in a lower class kind of benchmark themselves with the higher classes. So it's very, very interesting to see.
Well, let me tell you, we've got 20 people watching the stream. We've ticked under the 10-minute mark. left in this race. And Chuck Norris, I don't know about you, but the turnout to this voting here is absolutely atrocious. 20 people watching, 70. We've had 4 votes, Chuck. What on earth is?
It's a democracy here, everybody. You know, feast your eyes into the poll. Make sure to throw a prediction in there, because I think there's maybe only 5 minutes, not even on the poll. So be sure to get those votes in. We'd love to hear from you.
We certainly would. We should make voting compulsory, though. Going to send out how to vote cards. You know, with do you remember the recruitment back for the First World War or whatever it was, where we need that?
No, I don't. I was not enough.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Jumped on that one again.
Oh.
Just again.
Oh,
just teed it up for me, Trev.
yeah,
and I just
thank
smashed it out of the golf ball.
You didn't find too much golf with
Who
it.
are Glenn McGrath, you two down there at the... Yeah, he's got electricity. You can go and tee off under lights. How good's that? You think you're pretty flash, don't you? We're about to have the Civil War down here for the South. And there we go. But we're going to abolish slavery, that's for sure. But 3 votes for Mac, 2 for Matt. And I've totally forgotten about what else I was going to say, because Mr. Smarty Pants there jumping in and having a go at the good people of Benalla. And Mrs. B didn't quite come back to the stream, did she? So she must have gone off and just done other things there. But 8.5 minutes remaining, and if she's looking for those chocolates, she's not going to find them, let me tell you. Tay and I got into those real good watching Frozen the other day. But speaking of getting the chocolates, is that Beaky? I was about to say Will Star looks like he's going to get some chocolates tonight, but somebody's in the pits, and Beaky's in the pits. What could this possibly be for, Chuck Norris?
Oh no, he was in P3.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether maybe he didn't put enough fuel into the car, because it doesn't look like he's got any damage on the car. So yeah, maybe it's fuel related. Maybe he didn't take tyres and he wishes he did. So yeah, unscheduled stop for Beaky, not ideal. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what he's coming for.
And here's Sniper then, well down the field. Haven't talked much about the Snipester. And we love a good vibrant coloured livery, and they look even better when they're like a Year 7 sort of Microsoft Paint art project or something, but it looks fantastic indeed. Saint Sim,
like the old clip art.
yeah. And remember was it Microsoft Word with the paperclip used to tap on the screen? It looks like you're trying to write a letter. Would you like me to help you? And
I missed those days.
yeah, Word 97, and we'll go there. And that is Noodles into the pits, of course. And boy, he'll be storming off like Jimbo at a go-kart track, and trying to find some. I watched the stream back from last night, and I had a bit of a chuckle at that story. So Wilco, you were telling it, but that was fantastic, wasn't it? Jimbo, the hot-headed Queenslander that he is where is he? He's in P2 in his class, and if he's not on the high seas or punching on at go-kart tracks like Jos Verstappen, but anyway, that's another story. He is well and truly on his way to a podium. Won't say that joke about Jos and Max, but no, so Jimbo in second, and whatever he did, Jos, it's done his son some good, hasn't it? But Chipperton is third there in the 1:11 Porky Pie. And that's all, folks, as 35 laps completed. 6 minutes remaining. Willstar leads. Is he just easing off a little bit, you reckon, Chuck? It's down to 17. Nothing funny going on here. He's got 5 minutes and 17 seconds in his pocket. What would you be doing? Just bringing it home?
Yeah, look, he's got plenty of a gap there. You know, 17 seconds is a long way to go, I think, for anybody to catch up. Not unless, you know, he makes a real bad error, or a tsunami kind of comes through and sweeps him off his feet, or maybe the Kraken comes out of the bottom of the ocean and slays and plunders his booty. That's going to be the only drama that happens.
Yep, and boy, let me tell you, it can happen. It can happen, that's for sure. You'll be happily sailing on the high seas with your friends, and then... and a big Kraken can come through, and sounded more like Bigfoot, but yeah, that's sort of... Wait, next thing you end up in the drink. Oh, and hello there, Vibesy, one of the founding forefathers of the KRL family. think he might be just pulling off there. I thought he slowed down or something. And Mack wins the driver of the day vote, Jason. No arguments there. As Willstar coming up to Vibesy. Down the inside, nothing too sus there, but Mack right behind Matty here, and he's leading his class, but he'll want to get past Matthew Simmons, won't he? Mack and Mint and Matt. Mack, hang on, wait a second. Mack and Mint Matt, Mack Main and Mint Matt going toe to toe here. What does Matt Simmons do? Does he let him through?
I know. Who would have thought that you'd be commentating on a guy that his first name of his literally got a word starting with M and Mac underscore Matt Main. It's like, what is that? It's 2 syllables and underlining the middle. Sorry, I was just geeking out there a bit. How was that?
Now, I tell you what, and
Mint Mac.
to put them on the same bit of track, and I don't know what was going through Mac's head when he created this PSN ID, Chuck, but boy, hasn't it given us plenty of content over the years. Jokes like Mac Miller and Easy Mac, Mac and Cheese Balls and the like. It's just very versatile. There's so much you can do. It's like that pasta. You can just turn it into anything. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it, for us here in the commentary box, Chuck?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And talking about fantastic, Trev, go down to Nismo. There is like a 5-way battle for P13 at the moment.
Ooh, Andrew's one of them.
There we go, Andrew. Oh, hello. Imagine this at the end of year Hoon Corp Christmas party. Oh, he's past him. That's okay. I was building that up, and apparently we're getting word that the Loch Ness Monster is claiming to have seen Chuck Norris. Anyway, we're just getting word through that Nessie, Nessie, yes, I'm 44% Scottish, and I can talk like that.
Oh, no.
Oh, no! And 3 does not go into there. And you said there was, oh my goodness, they're everywhere. They're all over the track here. Nismo's leading the charge, but Figo and Spawn, everyone's off.
That train's longer than Nessie, I think, because it starts. It's literally starts with Andrew. Not even. There's Andrew. Sean's just ahead. Then it's got Andrew. Then sideways Nismo. There's literally about. Jimbo's the car that's furthest away. So what's that? That's 8 cars. It's covered by the space of 3-4 seconds. Really, it's unreal.
And well, the list is growing, isn't it? We've talked about Bigfoot and having the Chuck Norris sightings. Add Loch Ness to that list as well, and we know that ghosts, they get around the campfire and tell Chuck Norris stories. But 2 minutes left in this one, 38 laps completed. But that battle is incredible, isn't it there, Chuck? How many of them are in there? We've got Andrews through, I think, from that battle. And there's a few BMWs in a row there. Distinct Andrew and Sideways Polka. Figo. Somebody goes off. Nismo. And his bonnet is flapping around looking to say hello to a stranger as it goes past. Now Spawn down the outside. Oh, Nismo, does he fight this, Chuck? Does he fight this or just let them have their way with him? Because he's still leading, but he doesn't really want to give it up, does he, with a minute and a bit to go?
Yeah, look, he's doing everything that I would personally do, and you just keep running your race, even though you've got the damage. Not unless you feel like it isn't your fight, your place to be, then you can obviously pull to the side and let them go. But the amount of damage that he's got on the front of that car, you'd assume that people would almost be able to walk through. So yeah, good to see him still going through. He'll still take a class win here. 1 more lap to go.
It's getting very dark here in the Austrian countryside. And home, of course, to Toto Wolff and Arnold and Nicky Lauder, and that's all the Austrians I can think of. Probably a few others in there somewhere, but Norm and who's this? Chipperton and Nismo now. He's still going to win in his class ahead of Jimbo and Chipperton. But JJ there, is he going to make a move on the Chipster? Down the inside, and he gets his $1 worth of chips there. And you can see there down the inside getting that move done. We'll recap though, Willstar on his final lap of the race. We'll get back to that. Nick up in second. Promotion material. He's done quite well. Wilco as well.
Go to Mac quickly. And Mac's going to run on Matt.
Mac has got a run on Mac. Mac Main versus Matt Mint Matt. And look at this down. Oh my goodness. You've got to get up early.
Who do I want to win? I mean, I love them both, but I've got to go Mac because he's my teammate in the Enduro. Come on, Mac. Come on.
Well, you can go and bloody...
Here we go, outside.
Oh, outside. You've got to get up pretty early in the morning, don't you, Chuck, to beat Matt Simmons. But, let me change the camera, for God's sake. And there we go. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Where's Will Star?
Second last corner.
Second last corner. We might stick with this because Will Star coming into tonight. He kept his nose clean, minded his own business, and he will take victory here at the Red Bull Ring. Round 4 of this championship goes to Will Star. Thank you for that, Nigerian Prince. Universal Bosses, Mint Matt now and Mac Main. This is going to go right down to the line. I think Matt might have it from here. I can't see unless he gets it all wrong in this final corner, and the line's too close, isn't it, Chuck? So I don't think he's going to get that done. Across the line, Matt just gets home ahead of Mint. Hang on, Mint ahead of Mac. Jesus, I tell you what. And then there's Norm, and haven't spoken much about Norm. Naughty Norman Price, though. He'll come across in 4th for his class. And then Mark and Kilroy a bit further behind. Hainsey as well coming across the line there, 8th on the circuit. Smitty, a little bit quiet tonight, Smitty, Jason. Haven't called his name too much. Across the line there, Stewie.
Top 10, that's not too bad.
Top 10, and he'll take some handy points out of that. 3 votes for Mac, 2 for Matt. Boy, what a battle they had as Vibesy across the line there. Stewie as well. Aussie Aaron, the Australian, across the line. Shawnee Fuller. And Shawnee Fuller and Distinct Andrew. Look at this. And Andrew's gone into the wall. And I've got to say, he was racing very, very feisty, wasn't he, there, Chuck Norris, throughout the course of the evening. And those Austrian fireworks, Dunker for that, because that is fantastic. But there we go. Final results on your screen. Will Star wins in his class. 2nd for Nick. And 3rd for Mint Matt there. And we'll just get a screenshot of those results before they disappear. Mac winning in his class, Mark in 2nd, Kilroy in 3rd, and Nismo winning from Jimbo Johnson Jr. And sounds like a 1990s American prize fighter, that one. But Chipperton in 3rd, and the rest of them, Ernie Drongo, 36 laps down. Team Little Bear, 30 laps adrift. But he gave us those Tier 1 subs, so we love him dearly. Ted Glasso there as well. Jimbo, Team Radio. Loves doing that, doesn't he? I tell you what, it gets funnier, doesn't it, Jimbo Johnson, Jojo Jr., Shabadoo. And struggled massively, Jimbo. And there we go, just telling the world of his struggles. Still P2 in his class, though. And I'm just shitting on here, but anyway, I beg your pardon. I'm trying to kill some time. But give us your thoughts, Wilco, quickly. We lost that battle at the front halfway through the race, but still plenty of entertainment there, nonetheless, to take away from this week.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting week. We had rain last night and some spicy incidents tonight, and there's a lot of cars pit lane that have been absolutely sandblasted. But Will getting the win. We'll talk to him in a sec. We had Nick. He's just made his debut in the Pro class, gets P2. Mint Matt in P3. My amazing teammate, one of my favourite teammates, he shits all over Binger, Mr. Mac in P4, but P1 in class for the Pro-Ams. You got Mark, Kilroy to round out the Pro-Am podium, and then you got Nismo, Jimbo and Chipperton as the 3 in the Am class. I guess you can talk to whoever you want first. You got Will and Mac in here, Trev, so you be the decider.
Okay, we'll flip a coin. Heads it is, tails never fails, they say, but it has on this occasion. We've got Will Star here with us, the winner of the race tonight in the Pro class. Will, have you got us there, mate?
G'day, guys.
Hello to you. Talk us through your race, mate. Of course, you were kind of minding your own business there, and then halfway through the race, it all sort of kicked off, mate, but you've taken the win, and a dominant win at that too, by 18 seconds in the end tonight.
Yeah, it's sort of a theme for me so far this year. I think I was thinking at the end there, I think I've done 2 or 3 actual overtakes so far all season. So I'm pretty happy with that though, because going into this, like I've been trying to work on my consistency, and I think that's paying off so far. I think most of the podium that I've got is because someone else made a mistake, and I've sort of just kept it on the track. I'm not. I didn't get to see what happened with Andrew and Noodles. But that looked like a really good battle, so that's a bit unfortunate. But hey, I'll take it, I guess.
Fantastic, mate, and yeah, definitely a great attitude to have, of course, to finish first. First you must finish, and finally got that one right. But we appreciate your time. Thank you, Will, and quick word on next week, mate. How are you going to go on those long straights of Monza?
Monza's an average track for me, so I guess we'll see. I think the Aston's pretty quick in a straight line, but as I've discovered tonight, it absolutely hates leaving slow corners. So that first chicane's going to be a bit of a struggle, I reckon. But we'll see.
We'll wait and see, mate. Well, fantastic tonight. You took full advantage of course, the incident earlier in the race, mate. But you did what you needed to do. You took the victory, mate. We'll catch you next time around. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys, as always.
Thank you, Will. He's kind of guy you would invite over for a lunch or something. He's fantastic, isn't he? But we're moving right along to Mac and the love that Jason has for you, Mac. I'm not sure whether you can hear me or if we've got you there, but voting, you were driver of the day in the end too. It was a close one, 3-2 in the end. But winning your class, of course, mate. Talk us through it, and in fact, why does Jason love you so much?
Oh, yeah, it's the first I've got any praise from Jace, so that's nice. But no, I had a good, I don't even know where I started, 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever. Had a good pace, and then moved the way through the field. Norm was all over me, and I could hold him on the straights, but he was so much quicker through the sector 2 and 3, but he just couldn't get me. And then I caught up to Min. We had a little battle for a few laps, and then I went for overtaken T3, and I think I just tried to give him room, hit the sausage, and self-spun myself. And there, yeah, pitted, and then I was lucky enough to catch back up to Matt at the end, and we had a nice little 4 or 5 lap battle. It was fun.
Well, fantastic work, mate. You took the win. You did what you needed to do, mate, and all the very best for next week. Thanks for joining us, and part of the Kings Racing squad, and graduate of the Academy, of course. Hi there, Mark.
No.
Oh, no.
No academy with Mac. He doesn't let me do it.
No. Okay.
Minimal Jason, please.
I'll take that back. But thank you, Mac, for joining us. Congratulations on the win tonight. We'll catch you next time around.
Good job, mate.
Thanks, Jason. As we head along to Nismo, this man, the boss, is with us. Everybody, please just sit up.
2 wins in a row.
Sit up straight in your seats. This man dominating, if you don't mind, in his class, taking another win tonight. And he's always been there for me, I must admit. Jumped onto his stream a little bit earlier on tonight to complain about Jason and just a few other things. But I could tell when I tuned into that stream just how serious this man was, and he did have the pace around here. It's the boss of Hoon Corp. I, of course, speak of Nismo, the man himself. Nismo, have you got us there?
Hey, boys, how are you?
Absolutely terrific, but you must be feeling on top of the world there, mate. You've got another win in your class, 2 from 2. Very nicely done indeed.
Oh, look, stoked. I mean, really, this is the sort of turn of fate that I was hoping for. Really intense race. Like, I had some awesome battles with Craig and Shawnee and a few of the guys that were really putting the pressure on. But then it was just those last 5 minutes. Like, things really, like, everything just condensed, and you had everyone for position. There was very little in the ways of lap traffic, and unfortunately, I did end up getting tangled up in one of the incidents, which, I mean, I carried on, which, you know, I'm glad to have been able to do that. But considering I was running for sort of like 12th or 13th, and I ended up getting 18th. I mean, it's just that whole shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, I mean, I'll take a class win any day. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's always a bit gutting when you know there's points left on the table. So yeah, we'll go for Monza and try and make it a hat trick, eh?
Great stuff. Sounds like a good plan, mate. Hoping you can make it 3 from 3 next week. And of course, still a fantastic result, mate. Nonetheless, we really appreciate you joining us and everything you do. Big shout out to the Hoon Corp, all of the Hoon Corp esports team as well. Thank you, Nismo, for joining us, mate. We'll catch you next week.
Sounds good, mate. It's a date.
Yep, and I have to run that by the missus. Not sure whether she'll agree with that, but anyway, maybe we can sort something out. We'll get back to you on that. But thank you, Nismo, and thank you, Jason Wilkinson, for joining us and putting up with these shenanigans for another week. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'll flick you that Blackbeard Buyers. I think that is my name there on. I'll send that through into your DMs next time the invites are going out. But thank you, Wilco. Great work for another week.
Yeah, no, it's another interesting night. But yeah, as we just said before, rain last night, some spicy battles tonight, and I'm sure Bob and I are going to have our work cut out to deal out some penalties. But yeah, Monza next week, and then I think after that we should have a couple weeks off because we've got the Imola 6 hour, which of course next Friday night, is the pre-quali night. So the little issue with the amount of people the top 20 from round one back at Valencia, they've got a free pass. Every team from P21 down to a couple of new teams, they're doing quali next Friday. Be actually a KRL Twitch streaming nights, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, we gear up for Monza next Wednesday night in the GT2s.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. Thank you, Wilco. Bit of a throwback to the old days, pre-qualifying. That's going to be fantastic. And we will catch you next time around. Chuck Norris, thank you once again for joining us. Someone awesome just saying, not happy Jan started P23 up to P7. Then out of turn 2, the car wouldn't shift out of first gear and had to reset the wheel. So that is no good. Mark not happy as well with his performance tonight. But big shout out to everybody, of course, for following and liking, following, and all the rest of that stuff. The donations as well. It's fantastic. The subs. But I was going to say thank you as well to yourself, Chuck Norris. And, of course, Chuck Norris, the only man that can skip YouTube ads and not watch them without having a premium account. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us, mate. Thank you again for another week.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's another good week done and dusted. I've taken plenty of pointers for what to do and what not to do for my 4 a.m. race. So now I've got to try and go put all of that into practice and hope it goes well. But no, looking forward to next week at Monza. It should be good.
Should be fantastic. That is all we've got time for from round 4 of this championship. Couldn't have put it better myself, as Chuck said. Done and dusted. Round 4 of season 6. GT2's back next Wednesday night from 8 p.m. Eastern Time at Monza, the Temple of Speed. And it's going to be fantastic. We hope to have your company then. All the best, Voodoo, says EXO. Thank you for that, EXO. All the best, Voodoo. A couple of 666 lads in there getting involved. And if you'd like to get involved in this, of course, in the Endurance Series or the Kit Buyers Racing League, the Discord invite is in the chat, of course. Don't forget about the August Charity Month. Head over to CameronNorris.card with 2Rs.co and you can get all the information you need. But that's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. Be kind to one another. We'll see you next time around. It's goodbye for now.